get this win in such a dominant way, especially against your former team?
Yeah, I just really liked our energy tonight. From the start of the game, our bench was going really well, and when that happens, you can just kind of feel it up and down from every guy, and you build off, you know, the other defenseman shifts, and you get out there, you try and set the guys up for success for the next guys that go out there. And I felt like that was a constant theme for us all night, and that allowed each guy that go out to have success. And I thought that was something that, as the game went on, we continued to do. We didn't really waver from that type of style of play, and I think that helped us a ton as the game went on.
How did it feel to get that goal tonight against your former team, especially a pretty big one there?
Well, I almost go back and look at controller disconnected for a second because I was watching Benny as a fan. It was I stopped skating for a second. And I was like, wow, nice play. Oh, I should probably be down there. But yeah, it felt good. Felt good in that time of the game. It was still a tight game at that point, and so to get something like that, it just, like I said, feels good. And it feels good just after our last couple, right? Like not having as much energy and emotion in our game, and to have a little bit more of that, it just kind of carried throughout our bench.
You guys have beat a lot of good teams already this year. When you beat a team like that, the top team in the league, do you learn something new about this team, about this group?
You learn that you have a recipe and you have to stick to it. If you're going to play the way we play, it's hard. It's every night. We ask ourselves to get fired up and play, and sometimes it's a little bit easier when you're playing the number one team in the league that's coming in and been playing so well. So it does give you some added jump to your step.
That game Thursday night seemed like a lot of down. The ball was down.
Yeah.
Did you guys maybe have to sit on it for a minute?
Yeah. I think it was a little bit of the caution flag came out afterwards. I just said, hey, guys, it's not really what our expectations are for ourselves, and not even for the staff. I said the same thing about our game. We felt the same way, too. But like I said, I have to have that energy on your bench. And when that happens, it does translate to everybody, and it propels us into another gear when we get that forecheck going and have that that type of pressure that we had.
Good to get Paul his first win ever against Winnipeg.
Wow, yeah, that what I think for all of us that had been there, it was a big win against a good team.
For you, obviously getting the play done tonight. Now, what do you feel like it's going to be like Tuesday when you go there?
Yeah,
Against them?
it's a heck of a building. It's going to be a rocking crowd. It's two really good teams playing. I mean, you got to feel like it's going to be. It's game two of the series. If you look at it that way, it's they're going to play hard, and especially when they go back home, and both teams make adjustments, and we'll see what happens when we get there.
They're kind of in your shoes now, right?
Yeah.
They've lost two straight. They're going to sit on this one
for sure. I think so. It's really come out with that team always starts hot. They always play well there to start. So we got to know what we're getting ourselves into.
Thanks. Sergei, your first shutout of the season against the top offense in the National Hockey League. What do you attribute your team's performance to?
Yeah, I thought the guys did a great job. It was a complete game. All four lines are rolling, so it was fun to be part of it. Definitely, it's a big game against a really good opponent.
What were the emotions like when you guys get 3 goals in the second period and maybe able to relax a little bit, at least, with a 4-0 lead?
No, well, you don't think about the score. You play one shift at a time, one moment at a time, and then in the end of the day, in the end of the game, you look at the scoreboard. So obviously, the every moment dictate the next one, but you don't want to think too much or be relaxed or be too much focused. You're just staying with the moment.
Made some big saves early. Did you feel like you were in a zone from the get?
I felt pretty good. I felt comfortable. Again, guys did a great job. They allowed me to see the puck. Box out was unreal. So good gaps. So it was a complete game.
Obviously, tonight was Hockey Fights Cancer Night. You have the mask again this year. Just what does tonight mean to you, and just what does this month mean to you every year?
Yeah, it's. I think it's great that NHL do those kind of things. To support the people who are real fighters, and. Yeah, I just can do the little things to just contribute to them.
On that, how good does it feel to wear that mask this month?
Yeah, it's it's just the little things that I can do for those people who are facing those challenges, and I definitely support them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Win over the top team in the league. What do you attribute your team's dominant performance to?
Oh, it was great. Obviously, they got going in the first period. They played really well, and for the reason, their first first team in the league right now, so they showed us that in the first period, but we just stick with it. Bob made unbelievable saves there and kept us in the game, and then took over in the second.
What does it say about your team that you were able to bounce back so effectively after 2 losses that I know you and your teammates were not particularly pleased with?
Yeah, just the right mindset going into the game, and we knew we needed to get this one. We needed to play really well in this game, and I think everyone decided that and for themselves and as a group too, and we played the right way.
You guys had a lot of goals on secondary chances. How much of an emphasis do you have on generating rebounds tonight, especially when Hellebuck's as hot as he is?
Yeah, he's that type of goalie that not first or second shot, they don't go easily in the net, so you need those like second, thirds, fourth chances, rebounds, tips, all those kind of things. So we needed to work really hard in front of him to get the pucks in the net, so that's what we did, and we got some success. Good question. Missed half of the season so far, so I'm sure guys played unbelievable hockey during that time too. So I know the Rangers game was really good, Vegas game was really good by them, but for sure it's up there. It was a really good game against a really good opponent.
What kind of adjustments did you have to make to be able to go out there and play as complete of a game as you did after those 2 New Jersey games?
I think it was just more like we needed to work harder. That's about it. Like our systems, everything. We know really well what we need to do, and if we don't play hard, if we don't give everything we have, it's hard to do that. And today was a good example of everyone working as hard as possible.
Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you.
Well, we needed it. You lose 2 at home, that hurts. It's worse when it's the same team that beats you twice. So we needed a kind of a foundation game, get back to the basics of what we're good at. We were good in almost all parts of it. I thought our bench was right. And that you're looking for almost the heads more than the bodies. You understand over the course of the year the bodies aren't going to be great a lot of nights. But I thought that we came out of our fog a little bit here, and we were good tonight.
Was it a player-driven or a coach-driven response?
Yeah, I got nothing to do with it. I only need to talk to you after we lose. I got nothing to do with the wins.
Coach Bobrovsky always seems to find a way. You've seen so many of his great games. To get a shutout, first one of the year, what does it mean?
Well, I think you can, all joking aside to your earlier question, the people that are leaders in the room were really good tonight. So the biggest minute men on normal nights, and Sergei's our biggest minute guy every night. He's in the net, so he was very good and solid, and it felt that from the bench because they have a lot of very good hands in close areas around the net. Some of those scrums early in the game, and then Barkov clearly was dominant in the game. Pores is +4, I think, tonight. So the guys that needed to lead did.
Barkov, is this the best maybe you've ever seen him? Coming back from this injury, he's just had game after game here. With
I thought.
Everything.
Yeah, he's been really good. Like he was dominant in Finland, very, very strong. I thought that their line had a little lull there, and maybe 2 or 3 of the games, but that has to happen over the course of the year. Nobody gets 3 every night, so he was more importantly looked the way he's supposed to look, right? He was as good defensively as he was offensively.
And you guys weren't very happy, but nobody was about Thursday night. Did maybe sitting on it on Friday, coming in here fresh, maybe help a little bit?
Oh, we needed to be away from the rink. We've just been, and it's schedule based and flights and all those. We've been at the rink an awful lot, and that sometimes you need not to see the coach.
Well,
So my wife says that. I don't know.
You know what's coming Tuesday. You know they're going to have the same response tonight that you
Right.
guys had.
Right,
Or that night
that's
you
the
had.
expectation. That's why I do prefer the home and home, the way you go back into their building, and then it'll make for a great game. They'll be, it's 3 and 5 for them on a road trip, so they'll be at their best for sure.
Well, you said you were a Winnipeg Jets fan the other 80
Yeah.
games of the year, but how good did it feel to finally get a win one of those other 2
Just
games?
finally not play terrible. We'll just start that. Like the 4 games that we've played against these guys, we have not been very good. So this was not about Winnipeg for us. It was all about the last 2 games and righting the ship when you don't like your game. I thought the first game 2 and 3 of the season. I didn't mind our game. And maybe I felt the same way about game 2 against Ottawa as I did the first Jersey game. Didn't mind our game. We really didn't like the next one. And then we righted the ship and got playing some pretty good hockey.